Hello, turd nuggets. You are now watching Outside the Box, the portable podcast that goes directly to the source of the illest guests in the entertainment world and beyond. I'm your host, Okwerdz, and we are still on our little Los Angeles mission, and we are currently at the Happy Madison headquarters, which I am super juiced about. And of course, we about to hit another milestone with today's episode on the 10th episode extravaganza. I'm fucking pumped. It's going down. But before we dive into that, we got a couple cool things happening in the Okwerdz universe. Drop the Mic just got renewed for a second season on TBS. A couple weeks ago, I just went there to teach Tay Diggs how to battle rap. And I coached a couple WWE divas, the cast of Netflix's Glow, Trevor Jackson. I saw Topanga, John Mayer, Carucci, Omar from The Wire. It was fucking insane, man. I just want to, give a big shout out to the big homie, the God, Method Man, for having me involved. I really appreciate it, man. We may have to have a third season. We'll see what happens, man. But lastly, we got some good news. Tom Arnold has agreed to do the podcast as well, so it's gonna be a good time, man. And did I mention I got a song with Method Man coming soon, man? I don't know if y'all are ready for that. But enough of my measly little existence. As usual, we have a very awesome co-pilot with us for this episode, so let's just get down to business, man. I want to introduce to the show one of the most hilarious actors out there who's written, produced, acted in many iconic films. Please give a warm outside-the-box welcome to Grandma's boy himself, Mr. Alan Covert. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you having us here, man. It's a huge honor. Like, when I started this podcast, like, coincidentally enough, you're one of the first people I thought about that would be cool to have on here.
Well,
so
thank you.
So it's happening, man. And I want to give a big shout out, before we even go any further, to the boy Chris Titone for helping facilitate this whole thing, and Eli as well. I would fucking kill a human being with my bare hands for you guys. So thank you so much, man. But anyways, we're gonna get into a brief rundown on your life and films.
Okay.
But before we do that, go ahead and just let the people know what you've been working on recently. Like, what projects you got going on?
We got a few going on. There's a movie that Adam Sandler, maybe you've heard of him.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Him and this other unknown guy that we're trying to give a break to named Chris Rock.
Oh, yeah.
They did a movie together called The Week Of. Which will be out on Netflix on April 27th. Adam's daughter's marrying Chris's son, and it's about the week of the wedding. And Adam's like a working class electrical contractor guy, and Chris is a world class heart surgeon. And Adam in Beverly Hills, and Adam won't let him help pay for the wedding. So it's a lot about like the hotel falling apart and everyone has to move into Adam's house on the week of. And it's just about having 70 relatives from different families. It's a really, really funny. Rachel Dratch is in it, Steve Buscemi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a lot of
some
great
of the
fun
usuals.
People. Yeah, a lot of great fun people. And Sandler's been doing some stand-up touring, so we've been putting all that together for a possible Netflix special. Not a possible one. It was announced.
Happening. It ain't possible. It's happening.
Yeah. So, all that fun stuff.
Excellent, man. Yeah, I was hearing about the tour, and you're about to go back out. Is that for stand-up as well?
Yeah, that's all stand-up. Where
are you guys playing at? You guys know? You can go ahead and plug it if you want.
There's Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati. There's a show in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know the dates. I'm really terrible.
Is there a website that they can...
I can give you a schedule.
We'll put it in the description if you watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good shows. There's a show in Charlotte. There's 2 shows in New Jersey. All just off the top of my head. So,
hey, you're doing.
By the way, this setup, I feel like you and I are like, we got the Masters tournament on TV in there, but I feel like you and I are like at Pebble Beach, like.
Yeah, we're lightweight narrating it at the same time.
Coming up the 18th fairway, Jordan Spieth.
We got to get Happy Gilmore in here.
Oh, yeah. There's one guy, Westwood, I think his name is. Someone posted a picture this morning because he's got long hair and a beard. Oh. And they posted a picture of me from Happy Gilmore. And they were like, hey, Westwood's done better for himself these days.
Yeah, we're going to get into that later as well, most definitely, man. Now, so you're doing stand-up too up there too, right?
I was never a real stand-up. I did stand-up.
Dabble.
But it's like when people, I also used to surf, and people would go, oh, are you a surfer? I'd go, no, I surf on occasion. Stand-up, was something that everyone I knew was doing. So, and I was helping write jokes, and I worked at the Improv as a doorman. And so I decided to start trying it out.
Something's going on.
Man, there's something serious going on here.
Something's going on there.
By the way, this is not the headquarters
of
Happy
really?
Madison.
Well,
No, we have another office that's like on the over in Culver City on one of the studio lots. And then we got this place. This is like an editing space, pre-production office area. And,
like a creative area to just get shit done.
Yeah, like we have editing rooms here and things like that. So we're, constantly, we're always dabbling and putting things together.
I'm about to go in the back and edit this episode.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so do you have any like stand-up stuff like anywhere anyone can see? I've never seen you do stand-up. I've watched it for many years, but I've never seen you do stand-up. I don't know,
because back when I did it, it wasn't back in the old
YouTube
ages.
And stuff, huh?
Yeah, there was definitely no YouTube. I did once on TV. MTV used to have a show called Kamikaze.
Okay.
And I did an episode of that where I did some stand-up.
We go find it.
Yeah, and what's funny is we did a tour in '96, and it was a huge tour based on, Sandler played songs mostly, but we had video and skits, and I used to be the opening act. And I would come out by myself. We had a band and a stage set. It was on HBO at one point. And I would be the opening act, and I would come out by myself and do stand-up. And after this whole tour, one of the last shows we did, it was at Universal Amphitheater, and it was sold out, and it was the best show I'd ever had in my life. And I literally said, I'm never going to be better than that show. And that was the last time I did stand-up.
Well, until left on a good note.
Until last November. Adam been touring, and every night they would joke around and go, "Oh, Covert should go up," and I'd be like, "Yeah." Now in my head, I always write.
You got some material, like a battle rapper.
Like things are a lot different than when I did it 20 years ago. I have 4 kids. I've been married 12 years. Blah 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 blah. So I always had jokes going in my head of like if I ever did it. And one night in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan Hotel, where Adam Sandler has a residency. We were joking around, and someone goes, "Oh, so this will be the lineup tonight, and unless Covert wants to do 5." And I literally out of nowhere just goes, "I'll do 5." And I went up, and literally right before they announced my name, I was on the side of the stage sweating my ass off going, what the fuck was I thinking? In my head, I said, okay, I'm going to do this one joke, and I'll start with that. If that gets a laugh, I'll see what happens. and it worked out. I did 5 minutes, but it was funny because it was like I remembered how to do it. It wasn't like, oh, what am I doing? But yeah, so then the next time we went to Vegas was the second time I did it, and I did it again. So they keep saying, do more, do more.
You should, man.
I know.
I think you should. Stand-up comedy sounds terrifying, man.
It is
but
so
I guess I'm
scary.
I guess I'm a battle rapper, so it's not too much. At least someone isn't trying to kill me. But I guess the crowd can try to kill you, too, at some point.
Oh, my God. Back in the day, like Sandler would do, when he was first on Saturday Night Live, he would do colleges, and I would open for him. And I always knew how the show was going to go based on the poster when we arrived. If the poster said, with special guest Alan Covert, I knew it would be, I'd have a fair chance of doing okay. If my name wasn't mentioned on the poster, I knew it was going to be a battle because I would come out and it would literally be college kids going, "You're not Adam."
Oh,
who are you?
That's terrible.
Boo. And I would have to win them over, and some nights I would, and some nights I wouldn't, and
that's how it goes.
Yeah,
and speaking of Adam, I gotta ask the obvious question: like, how does one get in damn near every single Adam Sandler movie in existence? I mean, even since fucking Airheads. Like, can you break that down for us?
A bunch of us who still work together. Tim Herlihy, who at one point was head writer of Saturday Night Live, and also wrote almost every movie that the posters you see on these walls. Frank Caracci, who's directed a ton of movies. Steve Brill, who was pacing back and forth earlier.
Yep. He's like in The Wedding Singer, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's one of Glenn
Goulia.
Didn't
your parents die or something?
Yeah.
Like
He's
that?
one of Glenn Goulia's asshole friends out in front of. And then he's out at the bar fight in front when the old guy goes, "I used to be much stronger." But Frank Caracci, who I already mentioned, I think we went to NYU together. We met Brill like the first week we were out in LA.
Oh wow!
But we all have we met in college, and we all were like, hey, let's try to do this. And somehow it worked out. It always helps that, you have someone like Sandler, who was literally
killing it,
but just one of those people who's just got the talent and the drive to just kind of force it through. And it's funny because, like, in the early days, they were like, these guys over there doing these little movies, and then all of a sudden the movies started making money, and they were like, oh, well, we're set here. We were like, this is what we like to do. And look, we're all great friends. We hang out together outside of here. But yeah, in the early days, it was just kind of like just putting each other, I had fun
they're
parts.
Coming to get us.
Yeah, I know. I had fun parts to do, and him and I were doing I was in between movies working with him and our great friend Brooks Arthur, doing the comedy albums, writing sketches, and so I would work on those with him, and our other buddy Jack was working on the movie side more. And then it just slowly turned into more movies, and I don't get in front of the camera as much as I used to. I like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Some days I wish I was, on any sitcom that was running for 6 years rather than dealing with lawyers and agents and all that stuff. But look, at the end of the day, I get to come to work with my best friends.
That's awesome,
and
man.
do this shit. So,
hell yeah. I mean, at like what point, like while it was happening, were you like, okay, I think we could just make movies from here on out? Like,
I mean, I don't know. We just kind of, right after Billy Madison, I guess.
Yeah,
I think it was a little more after that. I just remember one day, actually, we were doing a music video for a song that was on the second comedy album we did called What the Hell Happened to Me? And it was a song called Steve Polychronopolous. And we were on this sound stage filming the band, and, we had already done all this other stuff, and we just kind of looked around and realized that there was no one there watching us.
Yeah.
And, we were like, oh, wow, so this is kind of cool. Like, there was no like, oh, you can't do that. We were fully in charge.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we like this.
That's the moment right there.
Yeah. And we were like, well, I like this, with no one saying, you can't do that. And, no, you got to do it this way. It was just us saying, this is what, and that was great. And look, Sandler's very loyal. He's always been someone who, but loyal because he likes what we do together.
Yeah, well, you guys
like
are
when you
a great
see all
team.
the people in the movies and all the, if you look at who's directed and written and worked on all our movies over the years, it's people that we work well with, that do great work.
Clearly,
and, then he gets to go off and do his artsy fartsy stuff with his with his highbrow directors and writers, and that's fun too, because I like when I get to go see a Sandler movie that I've never seen. Because normally with our movies, it's like from the day the idea comes up, by the time it's
You've been there.
Yeah, by the time the movie's out, I'm just like, I don't ever want to see this again. It's funny because then every once in a while they'll all be like, oh, wow, I haven't seen the Zohan in 5 years and it's on. Let me watch it. And then I sit there and go, oh, yeah. The Zohan's the man.
It's crazy that it's really been that long.
Yeah, Zohan's, that was like 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Well, excellent. Well, I guess
Sandler did a movie with Method Man.
Yeah, The Cobbler.
I know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Dude, Method Man's great in that movie.
Method Man is like the best human being ever.
No, I met him briefly at the premiere or something, but I've always loved Method Man.
I'm about to link you guys up, man.
He's the best. Sandler loved him. They had the greatest time. And Paul Sato, who wrote The Cobbler, has been working with us. He worked on Ridiculous Six. He co-wrote Sandy Wexler, and he was co-writer of The Cobbler, and that's how we met him. But he was just like, Method's the greatest, and he really is. He's just best. So talented, and he's just look, you're not around as long as Method Man, unless you're bringing the goods.
Yeah, one of the most humble people, man. Like, just for me, just growing up doing battle rap stuff, just to be acknowledged by him was crazy. But like the lengths that he's gone to like do things for me and stuff, it's just Unbelievable, man. We're going to shout out Method Man forever, man.
Ever.
Most definitely. Well,
I mean, he could coast on his origins.
Oh, yeah.
And never have to do anything.
Exactly.
To be honest. And he just keeps going and working and doing it.
Oh, yeah. You got to check out Drop the Mic, man.
No, I've seen the commercials.
Oh, okay.
I have 4 kids, man. By the time I get done with work and I get everyone to bed, I don't know what time anything is on. But I've seen the ads for Drop the Mic, and it's second season?
Yeah, we're going on second season, about to start this month.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's on TBS?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I kept seeing ads during the basketball tournament.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
they
they do them on social media a lot as well, man. Well, excellent. Well, I guess our first stop on our journey will be probably, to me, maybe your most memorable role in an Adam Sandler film, which is The Wedding Singer.
Oh, yeah.
Love that fucking movie, man. Is there any, behind the scenes, memories that people don't know from your time working on it? Is there something you could share with us?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we were shooting Happy Gilmore.
At the same time?
No, we were up in Vancouver shooting Happy Gilmore. And we were hanging out in Sandler's hotel room. And he literally just comes out of the kitchen eating a bowl of cereal and he goes, "Hey, you know what would be funny?" And we go, "What?" And he goes, "If I was a guy who sang in a wedding band and then my fiance dumps me and I have to go sing at people's weddings."
And that's it.
And literally that was oh. And then Tim Herlihy, who writes a lot of stuff, him and Sandler talked, and Herlihy goes, "Oh." But immediately I was because back then I was still fighting. They had to go no, Covert's funny. Look, I had to grow that beard just to be in Happy Gilmore.
Crazy mullet.
I was no, it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm the guy. I don't have to talk. Just let me be funny and look weird. So I immediately go, "Hey, I think it was right away. I was like, yeah, they always have in the small town, the one guy who drives the limo." It was something like that. It was just me trying to weasel my way in.
Yep.
And so the funniest that we did was that when we were getting the movie ready, they would always just say to the people at the studio, they would be talking about, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," and then they would just say my name instead of saying the character. And so that by the time we filmed, the studio just had it in their heads that I was playing that guy. So they would always just be like, yeah. And so then me and Covert says this or something like that. And I would just sitting there going, yeah, they're going to buy this. And little did they know.
You had a great part in that movie.
No,
man.
that was the best. We had a lot of fun. I mean, look, that was another one. It's all of a sudden we're making a movie with the Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
It's I was just going to say. Are you kidding me? We get to hang. We're it's Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, how is she cool or what?
Oh, she's the best.
Hell yeah.
She is the
best. Been in the business forever.
We've done 3 movies with her.
Yeah.
And she's just so sweet.
Seems like she'd be hella cool, man.
She is so cool, and her family's cool, and everyone she brings along with her is great. And, look, we were all young, and, it was just fun to do, but it was a big deal. And then the movie was really big for us. And that's kind of when things changed. Our old friend Jack always said to me that my life changed when Drew went on Letterman one night and said my name. She was talking about The Wedding Singer, and she was like,
"Cosign."
And then she was like, and it's this and that, and a great cast, so-and-so, Alan Covert. And my friend Jack just looked at me and went, "Oh, everything's a little different for you now, isn't it?" But she's this great woman, and a great actress, and so talented in so many other areas too.
Oh yeah, I mean, even since she was a kid.
Yeah. But no, we just had so much fun, and things like John Lovitz.
That's still one of the best scenes.
He's losing his mind.
That's one of the best scenes.
And then
the ladies' night.
And then he just slowly pulls the curtain closed, and it was just a lot of fun. It was great. We just had a really good time, and it's it's a fun movie that
great movie.
Happily people still talk about. So
but
and I got to wear that. I remember Sandler actually calling me going, "You asshole," and I go, "What?" He goes, "We just wrote you the greatest scene." And I go, what? And it was.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
It's when I walk in with the Michael Jackson jacket.
That was gonna be my next question too.
He goes, we go to a party and you come in wearing a Michael Jackson jacket and a sequin glove, and I was just like, yes,
perfect. It's Beat It, I believe.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was Thriller, but then I was like, no, actually Beat It.
Yeah,
It is Beat It.
Yeah, it's the red. It's red with the
There's
gray,
two of them.
and there's zippers.
Thriller is red and Beat It is red.
Yeah. And people always ask me if I had the jacket still. And
Yeah,
I
did you
didn't
keep one?
No, because it wasn't actually a jacket. It was a vest that they sewed sleeves on.
Wow.
So at the last, like after the movie, I went and was like, hey, can I get that? And they were like, oh, we already took it apart and sent the vest
it
back.
wasn't
I'm like,
even-
no.
wasn't even together.
Dude, trust me, I'd have that thing in a frame somewhere. I love that thing.
You're going to have to go on Amazon, man. I
Yeah.
think they got one on there.
I'm sure I could find
I
it.
should have just wore one over
That
here,
would've been-
man. But I didn't know what day we were doing it, so. But okay, well, I guess the next one we got to talk about, we touched on it a little bit, is Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
Where you played
Otto.
the homeless caddy.
Yeah.
And my question about that is, man, do a lot of people like the average person, do they even really know that was you? Do people really often?
A lot of people do now.
Yeah.
But then there's people I've known for years, literally,
Didn't
who
know.
will go like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just one of those weird movie guys. So
Yeah.
when I was watching it, when it first came out, I could just tell your face straight out the gut. So I was like, oh, that's him.
Yeah, we just had, that was a lot of fun. It was so funny because I didn't have I remember people were like, you didn't say much. And I was like, well, yeah, that's
the idea.
The point. It was like, I love doing stuff like that. Plus at the time, I couldn't believe that oh my God, I got this. This is going to be a fun part in this movie.
I think that's my favorite Adam Sandler
It's
movie.
a great one. That was another one. We just had so much fun.
Did you have to do some kind of makeup, or you grew that?
That was me. I grew the hair and the beard.
No stunt doubles.
Literally, my makeup would be that they would put dirt on me every morning.
Let's just make
that was
you
my makeup.
dirtier.
Every day, I'd come in and they'd be like, oh, "Okay." The funniest was, back then I was a single young man, and I was in a movie, and
I like where this is going.
some of my friends were just like, it's so funny. You have a big part in a movie, but you look like a homeless guy. You're never gonna get any girls. And then we filmed in Canada, where apparently beards
It's a big thing.
are an attraction. So all of a sudden people are like,
Did you
"Oh,
stay bearded up?
Oh, I had to. I mean, I was in Canada shooting the movie, but it was
There you
like, they were like, oh, yeah, nice beard. It's like, yeah. And my one friend was just like, really?
Damn it, that
He thought he
backfired.
was going to have the best time mocking me while everyone else was hitting on girls.
Joke's on you, friend.
Meeting girls. And I was like, yep. They like lumberjacks.
Oh, that's a great movie, man. I think we're about to reach the point that I'm probably the most excited to talk about, and that is Grandma's Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is one of the fucking funniest movies ever,
thank
man. So basically, I know that you and Nick Swartzen, wrote the movie.
And Barry Wernick.
Okay.
He's a co-writer.
And you guys produced it and acted in it.
Yep.
So I want to talk about each of those roles individually. What goes into being a producer of a movie in general, and specifically in that movie?
Yeah.
What you guys did.
A lot. Well,
because the average person just sees the damn name. It's like producer.
Yeah.
What does that really mean?
It depends. Every movie's different. What your requirements are to produce. On that one, it was, look, there's a guy who's the line producer, and that's the guy who really keeps the budgets, and I that's not me. But I sit and talked with him, and he goes over all the numbers with me and Adam, and But on Grandma's Boy, we had Level 1 Productionz, and they had two guys that were really good, Bill Todman and Paul Schwacke, who had been in the business, and they financed the movie, and,
Nice.
but yeah, I mean, it was everything. It's just hiring the director, casting,
Oh, so you're in charge of a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. You kind of oversee everything,
Okay.
Especially when you start with the idea that was your guys' idea, and we wrote it.
Yeah.
And, look, it was luckily for me, I had been making movies for a while with Happy Madison, so I knew a lot of really great people, and it was easy to kind of say, hey, we're shooting for 5 weeks in L.A. I got no money. Can you want to come down and be a part of this?
Sounds like some rap shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was literally like, we had David Spade as the vegan, the waiter at the vegan restaurant. It was like, I need you for a half a day.
Yeah.
Drive. Okay. Rob Schneider. That was the first day of shooting.
Yeah.
And
very
Schneider does not mess around. Schneider showed up with the hair and the costume and their character ready to roll, and I was dying. But it's literally like, hey, I need you from like 7 in the morning till noon.
What about the monkey? Did you have to book him?
Oh, yeah, the monkey. Hey, monkey. The monkey was so obsessed with Dante.
Really?
Yeah, like the Dante would walk in and it was like the monkey was like Beyonce walked in. It'd be like, who's the hottest girl you've ever seen? And that was Dante to this.
To the monkey.
Literally, like every time Dante walked in, no matter what was going on, it would be like.
That's funny. Animals choose who they like.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And the monkey was also obsessed with shoes. And the trainer told us, don't bring pizza on the set.
Or just all hell breaks loose.
Because he will lose his mind.
Wow, they'll give him pizza. I thought it was just all.
And by the way,
bananas.
there was like a point in the shoot where like we realized that there was some big story about some lady whose pet chimp had like eaten her face off. Oh, and we're literally in pre-production and we're like,
too soon.
We're not haven't even started yet. We're just like, should we really be having a chimpanzee on the set? And the guy was like, no, this guy chimpanzee's fine.
As long as you don't have pizza.
Yeah, just don't keep pizza around.
Yeah, you'll be good. Well, how long does it take to write a movie like that? Where did that come from? Like,
it came from I had actually gone home to Florida. My father had triple bypass.
Okay.
And my sister, I was in between stuff, so I went down to, like help him when he got out of the hospital. And he lived in this little condo, and his mother decided that she needed to be there as well. And so it was kind of like, she's my grandmother, and she didn't know I had tattoos. And so, like, my clothes were in the bedroom that she was in, but I slept on the couch, so I would, like, literally sleep in whatever clothes I was wearing so that she wouldn't come out and see my tattoos. And then one night, I went out with one of my old high school buddies, and we smoked a bowl. And
there you go.
He's like, all right. And he was taking me home. And I was like, oh, my eyes are so red. Do you have any Visine? He's like, no. I was like, well, everyone's asleep. So I go upstairs. I knew my dad wasn't getting out of bed, but I go upstairs. I come in. I shut the door. Grandma comes out.
Busted.
No, not even. She's like, what do you want? It was like, literally, she was like, do you want me to make you food?
And there it is.
And I'm just literally baked out of my mind. And she's just like making me eggs. And she's like, oh, there's a chicken. You want a chicken? And I'm just like, And I just in my head was thinking how funny that month was.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if that was like, a guy who has to live with his grandmother and he's hiding his life from her. And then Barry Wernick had a different idea about a guy living with a lot of old people. And we kind of mushed the two together. And then, we had just met Swardson, and we were looking for something to get him involved in because he's so goddamn funny.
Yeah, he's great in the movie too.
Yeah, and so, he came in and we did a big rewrite to make it more crazier and R-rated. And so that's, I don't know. We wrote it pretty fast because we kind of knew.
Like a whole movie, damn.
Yeah, we knew what we wanted to do, and it just depends. Sometimes you could sit there all day and write 3 words and go, fuck it, let's leave. We're depressed. And then other days you literally write like 10 pages of greatness. So it just depends. You just get in the flow and it goes. But yeah, we had a great time, and it was fun. I called in a lot of favors, a lot of the people who work on our movies, and also a lot of people will work in town. You
even had Jonah Hill when he was fat.
Dude, Jonah, that was that was a great story. Our casting director, the great Lisa London and Catherine Stroud, she said, look, for the part of Barry, she goes, there's this kid I want you to meet. He isn't what you were looking for, but this kid's really funny. And in came Jonah.
That was him.
And I think he had done like I Heart Huckabees.
Yep.
And I think he either was just cast in 40-Year-Old Virgin or like right around the same time Apatow put him in 40-Year-Old Virgin as we put him in Grandma's Boy.
Perfect.
But he came in and auditioned, and we were just like, he left, and we just said, oh, hire him. Literally, he was that good. We were just like, oh, hire him. He's great.
Away. I mean,
we had so much fun. Then him and I did, he came and did Strange Wilderness with us after that. But yeah, it's all fun things like that where you're like, Joel Moore, JP. That was, we had a distribution deal at Fox, and Debbie Liebling at the time was our creative executive there. And she said, there was this kid in Dodgeball. that might be good for JP. And he came in, and it was another
that.
one where we were just like, oh, dude. That's why when you said turd nuggets, I was laughing so hard.
The metal leg.
Oh, he was so
like,
funny.
Oh, my God. Like, how did he see me? Like, that was ridiculous.
But it's all that. It's like, look, it's a pain to be both actor and producer on the set. Mm-hmm. But look, there's people that do act, write, direct, and produce all at the same time, so I ain't complaining.
And sweep the floor and everything.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I mean, you play video games in real life?
You know what's
where did that part come from?
Oh, I love video games. I'm terrible though. That's the big lie in the movie. It's like I'm not good at video games. I'm more of a platform guy. Okay. I'm not a first-person shooter guy.
Me neither, dude.
I'm always like shooting my feet.
Oh yeah.
When
anything that's a big gun in the bottom right corner.
Dude, I'm Zelda. I'm Mario.
Final Fantasy,
Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, I like all that.
But all I play now is stupid, dumb games on my iPad. I just said to someone yesterday, I was like, I got to stop with the in-app purchases, man. They'd be like, you can continue with 5 more lives for $9, and I'm always like, $9. My kids don't need to go to private school. Click. Because it's not like I'm clicking it once.
Yeah, no, you're gonna need several lives.
5 lives.
Yeah, let's bump this up.
I'm grandma's boy. Give me 20 lives.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I play a lot of dumb games like that. I just got my kids a Switch, a Nintendo Switch, and my 9-year-old daughter is addicted. Like literally 7 in the morning. Can I play Mario? And this is me. No. Go read a book, build something.
Yeah. Nintendo's been around
Go
so
invent
long.
a game so I can retire and live off of you. But yeah, no, the Switch is great. They're deep into Mario, and they also play that Skylanders.
Okay.
Where you have the different... They have like these little toys.
Okay.
Like little figurines. Huh. It's kind of like a Final Fantasy type game.
Okay, like an RPG.
Yeah, it's like one of those other games that I watch on the E League. Mm-hmm. And so it's not a first-person shooter; it's a fantasy type game. But like you can change characters by they have this little you can buy these little dolls and you put it on this thing, and all of a sudden that's the character you're playing.
Oh, okay.
It's really
we'll have to check that out.
My old assistant Jeff Ketchum works at Activision, who makes it. And
okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Got the plug over there.
Heck yeah.
You ever get your grandma high?
No.
In real life?
No. No. She saw the movie though. She lived long enough to see the movie, and it was so funny because
it's probably reacted hilarious.
Everyone took her to the movie. I wasn't there. She was in Florida when she saw it, and she called me, and I was like, "So, what did you think?" And she goes, there was this one part I didn't care for. And in my head, I'm like, that could be anything.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
Me whacking off to a doll.
That's the first thing that pops in my head.
Schwartzen banging Shirley Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it?
Which one is it?
Me smoking like 30 pounds of weed throughout the movie. And she just goes, that girl didn't need to take her top off.
With the milk.
Yeah, the milkmaid.
Yeah, the milkmaid.
She was funny, that girl.
That is funny, man.
She was funny. I can't remember her name. I wish I'd looked it up beforehand because she was great.
Yeah, she was, man. I mean, are we going to be able to get a Grandma's Boy too, or what? What's up? What's up?
Look,
we need it. We're here. Yeah, we came to the headquarters. We need it. We need it, man.
Look, that's a touchy subject. One, it's been a long time. Sadly, Doris passed away, my grandma, so I would feel, it was so funny. Here's this woman.
She was so great in it, too.
And she had all these Emmys. Mm-hmm. She's on Raymond. She's like on the #1 family comedy in the country.
Y'all had her saying some funny.
No, and the casting director goes, "What about Doris Roberts?" I go, "Yeah, okay." I go, "Yeah, she just won an Emmy."
Good luck.
She makes about $1 zillion a week on Raymond. I go, "She ain't coming to do this dumb little movie." She goes, "Well, I'm going to send her a script." And Doris read it and liked it. And it was so funny because she goes, Doris would like to meet you. She wants to ask a few questions about the script. And in my head, I'm going, oh, so she's going to go, look, I'd love to do this, but can you get rid of this, that. Nothing at all like that. She was just like, what's their relationship? Why does she love him so much? And this and that.
Really
and I told her, I go,
character.
Oh, it's just about my grandma. I go, look, in my family, it's the funniest. Like my sister could drive from Florida to New Orleans to bring my grandmother soup, and all she would do is talk about me. Thanks for the soup. Your brother. Did you see your brother? Ooh. And my sister's always like, what the hell? And it's like, just no matter what I did, my grandma loved me. And she goes, okay, I get that. And so then we went and got the great Shirley Jones, who wanted to play the dirty hooker part.
There you
and
go.
Shirley Knight. I mean, it was just these three amazing actresses I had in this movie. And then Linda Cardellini.
Killed it.
That was another one.
Yeah,
she was on ER. She didn't need to do this. She just wanted to do it.
Because it's great. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and it was just fun. Like I said, then we got everyone else, like Nealon came in, and of course Dante.
A regular.
Yeah, written for Dante. Played by Dante.
Named Dante.
And, Dr. Shockley was the funniest because he just came in and auditioned. And I realized looking at his resume that when I was in college, I had seen him in a play in New York by an African playwright. And he had a small part in it. And I was like, I saw that play. But then it was funny because we thought he was just funny. And he was really going to only be in one scene. Yeah, and then we did a table read. And we found out that he spoke 7 languages.
Oh, wow.
And so we literally put in... We just added him to all these other scenes, but we wanted to make sure he speaks a different language in every scene.
Yeah.
And so at the end...
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, at the end, he speaks Mandarin.
Wow.
To the karate instructor.
Yeah.
Who spoke Mandarin. And when he started speaking Mandarin to him, the karate instructor was like, what the fuck's happening here? And then we used him again in... Blended, and we used him again in That's My Boy.
Okay.
He's a great guy. Abdoulaye Ngome. And it's so funny because he's literally the most positive, happy person you'll ever meet. Every time we see him, he's like, remember, fly like a bird on the wings of love, Alan. On the wings of love.
It's great advice.
It is. I'm always like, all right.
That's great advice, man. Like, how do you feel about, like, the cult status of the movie? Like, I don't know how it did in theaters.
It did terrible in theaters. Let's put it this way. Opening night, when they called me with the numbers, I threw up.
But you got to know now that, like, the cult status, like, people regard this movie as, like, one of the funniest movies.
I love it. I'm happy about it. Look, I'm just glad people like it. I'd rather that than have had it made a ton of money and then people were like, oh, we got conned into seeing that piece of shit. And then they hate you for it. No, I think it's funny. There's people who see it for the first time recently and are like, I didn't know about this. And of course I love it. I love that people like what we did. I mean, look, we busted our butts to make a movie that we thought was funny. And, like I said, like you said, we did every aspect of it, Yeah. Adam helped drive it through and get everything done for us. And, we would have never been in the position to even be able to do it if it hadn't been for the work we had done with him over the years. And it was great. Like I said, so many people came down and had fun. And Doris would tell me, years later, she goes, it's so funny. She goes,
it is.
She goes, I go to colleges and I visited my daughter, her granddaughter or something. And everyone's just like, Grandma. Like I said, here's this classy, great actress who had a stellar career for 40 years, and she came and did our dumb little weed movie.
That's awesome.
Our dumb little video game weed movie, but she was always so happy. Doris was the best, too. Yeah, but that's part of the reason why. It's like, how do you make Grandmas 2 without Doris?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Look, if there's some way we could figure something out, we would. But it's also like I'm terrified to try. Because I'm like, I don't want to be the one where everyone goes, yeah, they should have just stayed with one.
Fair enough.
I don't want to tarnish the legacy.
Hey, it's a legacy to be proud of, man.
Yeah, we are. We're all really proud of it.
I love that movie.
And it is funny. Everyone talks about it all. Like Schneider even says, like,
it's great, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think the last thing I got to ask you about that movie, it's like it's a very, like, kind of obscure thing that I always wondered. Always when I watch that movie, I see 3 things.
Yes.
First of all, you have a Dr. Doom shirt on.
Yeah.
Second of all, it plays many instrumentals in the movie from the Dr. Doom album. And then obviously there's a song at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
My question is, where did that come from? I'm a hip-hop guy, so I got to ask you about the rap shit. Kool Keith is one of my favorite rappers, so I got to ask you about
Nick Goosen, the director, and I were obsessed with Cool Keith at the time.
He's one of the best.
No, it was just everything. Dr. Octagon, everything. We were just like, he's the best. I remember there was one, it was almost a battle rap, and it's just him ragging on every other rapper, and it was all about their videos. He's like looking in the fisheye lens with your Timberland boots like everybody else, and we were just like, he's crazy! But we were just obsessed with him at the time, and I definitely wanted to wear shirts and stuff with people, stuff I was loving at the time. And then we were trying to track him down, as you could probably imagine.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
Keith is an interesting character.
Yes.
And literally, we finally tracked him down through, I think through Cutmaster Kurt.
Yeah, that would be a good place to do it.
Because we'd been talking to his manager, and it was literally funny because we wanted him to do the song at the end. And we were just obsessed with it. It was like, we were just we got to get this.
I know exactly what
this.
you're talking about.
And so the manager was like, I can't get in touch with him. I don't know what's happening. And we finally tracked him down, and literally the manager called one day and was like, I don't know where he is, man. I'm sorry. I feel like I let you down. We're like, dude, he's sitting next to us. He's in the editing room watching the movie, and he's gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
He was like, oh, okay, good.
That's awesome, man. That's something I always wanted to know, man, because I'm a big Cool Keith fan myself.
You know what's funny is Nick's friend, Brian Ling, I wish I could remember the name of his company. He has a music management company, and I think he helped put together that last tour.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That he's been working with him. And part of it is because of the Grandma's Boy connection.
Wow.
But also, it's funny with a lot of the other music, because, look, I love the soundtrack. And we had some stuff like before it popped. And we have always had great music supervisors. And Michael Dilbeck and Brian Bonwell were our in-house music supervisors. But I also have this friend, William Dorella, who's a friend of mine from back in the day. We were roommates in New York. And he's a big music manager, and he helped us get like some soundtrack money so that we could get a lot of those bands. And like Aphex Twin, when JP's in his thing, and it's that crazy one. Like Aphex Twin, they tracked him down like in the Australian outback because he doesn't license his shit, and we sent him the scene with that section cut in, and he immediately was like, okay. And we were like, all right.
Hell yes.
But it was just fun getting some good stuff like that. And the music was, we wanted the music to fit the movie. But the Cool Keith thing, I'm glad you noticed that. Of course you noticed that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's just crazy to me to like be here with you doing an interview and just hear you say the words Cutmaster Kurt. And, that's crazy to me. Like what other hip hop do you like? What else do you listen to?
It's funny.
On the subject.
It's funny. I got out of, look, my kids listen to Kids Bop, and dear God, which is fine. And they, they listen to top hits on the internet radio, and so I'm always trying to, look, I'm more of a heavier rock kind of guy. But look, back in the day, we were living in Manhattan. When Rick Rubin, we were living. I was living in New York when LL and the Beasties and Run DMC were popping, and before that, my friends had, we had, there was Sugar Hill Gang, which everyone's like, oh, what is this? But so old school stuff, I was much more. And it always helps to have young people working around because they like Wu-Tang and learn all that stuff and. But it was funny. I hadn't listened to anything in a long time. I loved, I loved NWA. I loved Cube, Dre, all
Cube's
the West, because all that stuff hit when we moved to LA.
Yeah.
I mean, Cube.
Cube's the best.
The one thing, we went to the Up in Smoke tour.
Yeah, me too, actually.
In Jersey at the Brendan Byrne Arena, and we wanted to get. We went. I got to tell you, at that point, we were shooting Little Nicky, and we actually were talking to Dre about maybe doing a song. So, we went to the Up in Smoke tour, and I was mad because we were late, and I missed Cube.
It's when he came down in the big glacier and all that.
But we missed Cube, crazy. And I was like, God damn it. I wanted to see Cube. But that's how long ago that was like Eminem was like not the headliner.
I was in high school, and I went to that show in Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good one. No,
it was.
But so all that, look, all of it. And then... But just recently, I've been listening to, Kendrick, of course, and I'm drawing a blank. Eli, the great young guy I love, who I hugged at Saturday Night Live, Chance.
Oh yeah, okay.
Why couldn't I remember his name right now? Because I literally obsessively listened to like everything he did.
Oh yeah, no.
And the same with Kendrick, where I was like, oh, this guy's.
Oh yeah.
it was funny because, I'm out. Dude, I'm 53. So, me and new music, it's hard to come by. I don't even know where to listen to it these days.
Yeah, it's...
I'm like, is it on the radio? I have the Spotify and the XM.
Yep.
So my musical taste is very broad.
That's fair.
Like, I swear to God, yesterday I told everyone, I live out in the suburbs.
Okay.
So I come over the canyon and I drive down the beach because it's better than sitting in traffic. But literally the whole drive yesterday I just had a thrash metal playlist going, and it literally started with Iron Maiden, The Troop. No, it started with Motor Breath, Metallica, off to Kill 'Em All.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And by the time I got here to the ocean, I was on Iron Maiden, The Trooper. I'd been like, Raining in Blood by Slayer. And literally, I was like, I got to calm down before I get to the office.
Gonna be too hyped.
I was like ready to come out like, let's go. But yeah, I listen, whatever, look, if someone's good and new, I'll listen to them. But yeah, there was a big chunk of time where I was just like, there was no new music in my life because, I have young kids and it's always in the car with like, especially now with DVDs, it's like, oh, we're watching Frozen again. I'm always like, why don't we watch Willy Wonka?
There you go.
I always, like early days of hip hop. We would,
most definitely.
I remember we would, Sandler and I in New York one summer after was it Fear of a Black Planet came out? And it was just like we were just walking around going, Terminator X. I mean, Chuck D. Come on, that voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I love music, and obviously Sandler loves music.
Oh yeah, he's very musically talented himself.
And it's funny because people always talk about we try to make the music fit the movies. And,
No, you guys do a great job of that. I think.
But it's because music's important, and we know it's important in your life. It's like I hear songs now, and I'm like, oh God, I remember when this song was big.
Yeah, what was happening?
And
in
that
my
girl
life.
broke my heart. Or it's like, oh, I remember when this was big, and we were making Grandma's Boy.
Hell yeah. Well, hey, we're going to take this time to take a couple of social media questions from the fans that we got collected.
Oh, nice.
So let's see here. What do we got? We got from Jordan Keys on Facebook asks, who is someone you think is funny that not many people know of?
Oh. I don't know. Because most everyone I think is funny is kind of famous. I'm like, John Mulaney. Look,
tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. I feel like I'm going to be disappointing in this answer because, I don't get out and see a lot of I mean, look, I see people at clubs, but I'm not out at the comedy clubs as much as I used to be. There's a lot of good young, comics out there. I just, I really couldn't pick someone off the top of my head, but
that's fair.
You know what I always love? I always love when someone who you don't know is funny.
Yeah.
Is in a movie and they're funny.
Oh yeah.
You know who's good at that is Sandler.
Oh.
Sandler's like, hey, you know who would be funny in that part? And I'm like, who? He goes, Dave Matthews. I'm like, okay. And then Dave Matthews comes in and he's so funny.
No, you guys have a really good talent at picking random people to get in on the movies. Like there was something I wanted to ask you earlier and I forgot. Because you guys, I think your guys' films are a really good example of it. Something I always wondered just in movies in general. Like, for example, like on The Wedding Singer, like you guys are at a wedding and you're saying something and you're referring to like the freaks at table 11 or whatever it is. Like, how do you cast a part like that? You just tell someone like we're looking for someone ugly.
Two of those people were like friends of ours, and we uglied them up a little more, and then you literally,
because you guys always have someone ugly, that.
But yeah, you'll take someone and be like, we're going to make you really goofy. And they go, okay.
So there's not like an ugly people like agency or something where you're like, we have this part for this really disgusting. I think they're a little more
politically correct than saying, hey, we're the ugly people. They're probably like, we're the unique agency. There was this great comedian named Al Lubell, and he had a joke that he said, there still is a great comedian named Al Lubell, and he had this joke about someone telling him, a casting director telling him, you have offbeat good looks. Oh, and he goes, and I took that to mean you're kind of good looking for an ugly guy.
Yeah, that's really polite. That was really polite.
Yeah.
No, that was super polite, man. Well, real quick, we're going to go to one more question.
Yes. Sorry, Jordan, if I disappointed you.
Hey, Jordan, why you got these difficult fucking questions, man? Nah, we got Tony Gomez, a.k.a. Madness, the battle rapper from Facebook. He asked, did you ever ghostwrite or touch up on someone else's screenplay?
No, just ours. I mean, look, anytime on our movies, there comes a point where, we all kind of sit in the room and, or sit on the set. But I've never been hired to go work on someone else's movie. Look, if I'm on the set, I might go, hey, what about this?
Yep.
But
you got it.
But no, I mean, we got enough going on here. But yeah, on stuff like this, like you can always know that, we always have a couple guys on the set, because Sandler, kind of grew up writing on Saturday Night Live. And if you go at a TV model of writing, there's always a writer's room. And then everyone's watching the rehearsal. And like even on a sitcom, you'll see like all the writers are off to the side watching the monitors. And literally as it happens, right at the cut, you'll see people just running in and going, hey, like this will work better. Try this. Maybe this. Let's try one of these. Because look, we like to always... We spend so much time writing the script. We want to make sure we're getting what we get, what we originally wanted. But sometimes then we'll say, look, you got Chris Rock and Sandler together. Of course, stuff's going to happen. You got Rachel Dratch. You got Steve Buscemi. We had all these great New York actors too. That in this movie. A lot of young people from an improv background. So you want to get what you wrote because you wrote it for a reason, but then there's always stuff that comes up. But no, specifically, have I ever ghostwritten another movie? No.
It is. Excellent. Well, that's enough for the social media questions right now. We're reaching the tail end of this thing. One more thing.
I have been rambling for a while. So
you're doing great. You're doing great. I'm having a great time, man. We're gonna run you through the gauntlet real quick.
Okay.
There's one thing that we do called the Okwerdz Top 3.
Okay.
Where every guest, we give them one topic, and you tell us what your top 3 in that topic is.
Okay.
And everybody gets one different. I have to answer the question too.
Okay.
I can't just be cheating like that.
Yeah.
So for you,
this is kind of like Chris Rock's movie.
Oh, is it?
Except he was top 5.
Oh.
That's why. That's why it's called top 5.
And
by the way, talk about a movie full of crazy comedians.
I haven't seen it.
You have to see it.
I'm gonna check that out.
But they literally sit around and go top 5 rappers.
Oh,
top 5 old school.
Yeah, I love doing
that. And then
that.
they get in arguments about it. I mean, it's about
that.
a lot more than that, but that's when he's hanging out with his old friends. They do that. And they're
I love that. I love to see what everybody's top 3 of everything in life is. So for you, obviously, Mr. Alan Covert, what are your top 3 Adam Sandler films?
Oh, my God.
Of all time.
You're going to be baffled by some of these.
We'll see.
Because I usually my favorites are the ones that didn't do as well. Oh, wow. Look, I have a special place in my heart for Happy Gilmore, of course.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
But I also have a very special place in my heart for That's My Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, well, That's My Boy is so...
Even Chris with the funny-ass part in there, too.
It's so crazy. His character's so nuts and just drunk, and we got Vanilla Ice in there.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is like the nicest guy in the world.
I bet.
No,
I should try to get him on the podcast.
Dude, I'll hook you up with...
Dude, that'd be funny.
I'll hook you up with Rob.
Governments. No, that'd be hilarious.
No, he's the man, and he's got a hit TV show. He renovates... Like, he flips houses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, he's the man. But he totally got it. Like, we were like... In this movie, we want you to play the guy that everyone thinks you became. Because, Ice didn't lose all his money.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Ice
sure
lives
he's
down in Florida.
Yeah,
like I said,
he's fine.
Look, he's on the DIY channel. He literally has a show where he buys these mansions that are destroyed and renovates them. And but he's just a good, sweet guy. He's really nice, and but he understood right away. Like, oh yeah. So we had him like working at the ice skating rink, selling chicken nuggets with Todd Bridges, and he loved it. But I love That's My Boy. Mm-hmm. I love Little Nicky too.
Yeah, Little Nicky's great.
Little Nicky's just... I love the ones that are just more insane and over the top. I mean, Little Nicky was so crazy.
Yeah, it was.
And it's such a stoner movie.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't made that way.
But ends up...
But years later, stoned people are always like...
This is us.
They're like, dude, Little Nicky. I mean, come on. You got Harvey Keitel as the devil.
Yeah, dude.
Reese Witherspoon's an angel. Kevin Nealon with boobs growing out of his head.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Rhys Ifans, who, is a great actor, who played one of it. And Rhys Ifans, Adam, and Tiny Lister are brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even... Oh, Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, yeah, he does step in for a
Dude,
second.
I got to hang out with Rodney. It was the best.
I bet you.
I mean, that's like a hero.
Person. Yeah, of course.
Where you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it. That's the coolest thing, by the way.
Yeah, and what's even cooler than that is when they're cool people.
Yeah, when I'm sitting on a set and I'm just like going, I can't believe I'm sitting with this person. And I still get like that. I'm still just like, that's so cool.
You got to love the shit that you're doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Excellent. Well, I think for me... I think Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer, and The Waterboy.
Oh yeah,
are gonna be my top 3. Those are crazy ones, man.
And young, fresh, right out the gate.
Yeah.
The Waterboy, man.
Waterboy's crazy.
By the way, The Waterboy was the one that changed everybody's lives because
that one was crazy.
Yeah, Wedding Singer was a hit. Now, Big Daddy. Wait, which came out first, Waterboy or Big Daddy?
I feel like maybe Waterboy. That's a tough one.
Look, I see Eli going to Google right now.
Yeah, we're going to have to...
Off camera, there's a man searching up the info about a movie that I'm in that I can't remember when it came out. Let's put it this way. Big Daddy came out so long ago that the little twins, one of them's on Riverdale and the other one owns a brewery.
Wow. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has
It's been a minute. And on Waterboy, too, just something funny, random, how, he was one of the fans in the stands.
Yeah,
in
me
the
and
movie.
Clint Howard.
That's what I was just gonna say. The god of random appearances.
Oh, Clint Howard's the
like,
man.
did you guys pick him specifically?
Oh,
for that?
yeah.
Because he's been in a few things of yours.
No, was Big Daddy after Waterboy?
Big Daddy was after Waterboy.
Oh, yeah. We were filming Big Daddy when Waterboy came out, and Waterboy came out and literally blew up so huge that it was just like, oh. Like, what it was just, that's like a monster.
Yeah, it was.
Look, it afforded us the ability to keep doing it. So that was good.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we're about to let you go and just what? Okay. You say something?
No, I was going to say Clint Howard because then in Little Nicky, Little Nicky, he's the crazy guy. He's the crazy guy putting hot wax on his nipples.
Nah, he's a funny character, man. I always wondered about stuff like that, like how you were saying you guys specifically chose him. I was wondering, like, does he show up for an audition?
No, that's just something that's literally something like Sandler going, you know who would be funny? Clint Howard.
There you go. Yeah, no, he's the god of shit like that. For sure,
he's
man.
a funny bastard.
Well, cool, man. Before we wrap this thing up and let you out of here, man, please let the people know where they can find you on social media and all that type of stuff.
I'm really only on Twitter, and I'm very lamely on Twitter. I mean, lately, like I was saying to you earlier before we started, it's like I used to have fun on Twitter and talk to people, like out of nowhere I would be home late at night and people would be like, hey, and ask me questions, and I'd just start answering questions. And now it's just people yelling at each other on all the social media.
Pretty much.
Stop yelling at each other, people. Let's go back to funny memes and stupid videos.
And cat videos.
And asking people questions about movies and funny stuff. Let's go back to having fun and trading recipes.
Hell yeah. And
I've literally gotten people be like, I've made some comment once about like meatballs, and like people sent me meatball recipes, and I'm like, all right, this is the greatest. And now it's like, how dare you? I hate you. You hate me. So,
you like meatballs? I'm unfollowing.
Yeah, how dare you like meatballs? Meatballs oppressed my cousin.
Yeah, well, one more thing too.
But it's at that Alan Covert.
We got to give him the actual shit, right?
Yeah, that Alan Covert.
Okay, follow him, definitely. We're going to have some magical shit flying in the edit and whatnot, man. Before we let you go, though, we got to go to our ritual and have you sign the magic table.
I will definitely sign the magic table.
Thank you. Feel free, write whatever you want, man. And while you're doing that, man, I just wanted to ask a quick question about the classic movie Heavyweights.
Yeah.
You were Kenny the cameraman.
Yes, I was.
I know you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but how did you end up getting that role? That was very early. That was very early.
That movie was written by Steve Brill, the gentleman who was pacing back and forth, and Judd Apatow. Brill and Apatow were two of the first people Sandler and I met when we moved out here. And they wrote this movie, and they just gave me that part. I was waiting tables, and they were like, you should come play this part. And it was literally the job because I was there for the whole movie. So I got minimum, but minimum is still, you know, for a guy like me living in a shitty apartment in Hollywood and eating fried rice for dinner, minimum was minimum was like a year's salary. You know, so I was like so excited, and they literally they had this part, and they gave it to me, and I just got. Then they abused me. Actually, Brill was talking about this because they were like, you know, what would be funny if your character had a perm, and I didn't know what a perm was. And I was like, yeah, sure. That's something with my hair, yeah. And then I got out of, and then like 2 hours later, I was looking in the mirror going, what the fuck did you guys do to me? And
you've had some great hairstyles.
Oh, yeah. Little Nicky was another one where Sandler goes, you know what would be funny? And I go, what? And he goes, if you like gained some weight and like shaved a receding hairline in your head. And I was always like, yeah, that would be funny. I didn't care. I was like, that would be funny.
You got to like that stuff.
But yeah, that's how that came about. And, you know, it's so funny because, like, that movie, like Paul Feig was an actor.
Yeah. Now he's
like
a big director.
Oh, he's a giant director. But it was just funny. He was like the actor guy in Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, I was just gonna say even early in Kenan and Ben Stiller's career.
Yes, Stiller, because Apatow and Stiller had done the Ben Stiller show already. It was just a lot of fun. You know, we had a great time with a bunch of those kids down there, and but it was just fun. That was another one. It was like. Brill directed, Apatow produced.
It's a classic.
And, it is a fun movie. It's a lot of fun.
It's a classic, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you,
for
man.
coming on the show, man. We're about to wrap it up right now. We're not going to keep it for too long.
Yep.
Shouts to Alan Covert. We'll see you next time. Thanks for everybody for watching Outside the Box. Blah.